Hey, welcome. This is The Process. My name is Dr. John Bush. Lesson 47. We're in the beginning of a little bit of a deeper analysis into the team level. I got 16 lessons, 2 teams per lesson. Please see lesson 46 for the beginning. You can see how I'm going to do this. We're trying to help you win your fantasy football drafts. Gives you a great advantage going into the season. And again, if you haven't seen any of my lessons, I use the landscape approach, where some people call it top down. So I'm just now starting to get a little bit deeper here into the data weeds and trying to clear it out a little bit for you. We're again focusing on 2 teams, Baltimore and Buffalo here. Let's see what we need to tell you about. Uh, this is Baltimore NFC North Conference. Position is quarterback, running back, tight end, and wide receiver from 2016 to 2020. This is fantasy points. Here's the grand average, and it shows clearly that wide receivers and running backs over the 5 years were more dominant than the other 2 positions, but that has changed, and we'll talk about that. Also highlight the 5-year tops, and notice that 16, 17, we had the golden age of wide receivers and running backs. We have seen a decline in the recent years, and now we're more towards the quarterback position. You can see here 19 and 20. And 2019, we had a spectacular year with the tight end, but 2020 was blah. But at the same time, we did see an uptick in wide receivers, probably to balance out some of the decline in tight ends. So it's a little bit unclear as exactly what we might expect. I guess right now, reading the leaves, I would expect the quarterback to be in this area here between these 2 numbers. Running backs, probably closer to 360, so nothing dramatic. I would not be expecting anything other than what we've seen. Tight ends are very tricky. I am not sure what we're going to get. I would hope we would see a bounce back, and this is the low. This is the 5-year low. So you wonder, can we get worse? I'm hoping to get better. I don't expect 2019. I think reasonable would be somewhere, some uptick, but not, just as probably as much as if you draft Mark Andrews, for instance, as the Baltimore tight end. You would want the 2019 season, and I just don't think we're going to get that. That really stands out to me is kind of a giraffe among the herd there, as it were, that sticking out. But I think he might actually give us more value than maybe people perceive, just given the last year's play here. So usually people kind of are superficial and maybe forget about 2019. I think he's definitely one of your top 4 or 5 tight ends this year. Wide receivers, think you'll probably see about what we got last year, maybe somewhere between 19 and 20. Uh, so I'm not thinking, wow, they're really going to do something different. We will not see a 2016 year. Okay. So I think we can expect steady, but nothing like 2016. Okay. So a little bit of mud in the water here. I think we will talk about that. Here's the actual graphs of the 16 to 20, the different positions here. Here's the quarterback has really kind of stood out. Kind of decline in running backs. Nothing really below this level, but hasn't been so great. Tight ends, I think that really stands out that year. So I'm hoping to get something like this, maybe going back to 2016. So I hope an uptick, but I don't think. Yeah. So this is the extreme ceiling. Okay. But this is the low. So maybe somewhere between. Wide receivers have declined since 16, but if you throw that out, we're pretty much steady. So I think we'll see an average year there if you throw out 2016. Okay. So positional usage, I like to see just how does the team use the positions based on fantasy points. 5 years, if you look at the total 5 years, again, the running back and wide receivers were dominant over the other two. But that has changed. Take a look. Quarterbacks and wide receivers have moved up, and wide receivers probably stayed the same, and really running backs too, but the tight ends have dropped. So we've seen a little uptick in quarterbacks and a little downtick in these, and wide receivers have pretty much stayed the same. So I expect a continuation of the rushing quarterback with Lamar Jackson here. And you can see this is kind of the PPR ADP, kind of the latest one that I picked before doing this. He's going in early round 5, first pick round 5. That seems reasonable. I don't think I would reach deep. 2020 may have been a good year, but I'm not expecting great things other than what we've seen previous. Nothing dramatic. I think the running backs are going to be steady. Is Dobbins worth a 3-round pick? I think Edwards is worth a 9-round pick. I'm not sure Dobbins is worth a 3. So I would probably draft the later guy in best ball for sure. Andrews is a 4th-round pick. I think the public's expecting good things, and I don't think they're actually as asleep as I thought they might be. So that's probably a fair price. The wide receivers, I don't know, because they look kind of 9, 12, 14. People are talking about Rashad Bateman being the thing. I don't know if there's any other thing to inherit given the 30% usage. I just don't see it going up too much at all. So I'm a little befuddled by this. I'm not sure what to think. I guess I would be looking bargains for Brown and Bateman. Watkins, I would probably try to draft around later than what they're going. Just try to get a little built-in value there. I'm not reaching for any of them, but looking to pick up some value there. But the public is reading the tea leaves correctly, I think, given the value they see a 9th, the 14th round. That's probably about right. Okay, I don't care. You can wish something, but not sure the metrics are supporting it right now. I mean, we're kind of early in the year, the off season, so I'm willing to listen, but there may be too much hype, and maybe this is the bargain. I'm uncertain. Okay, just going to be straight up with you. Just uncertain. Think I'll be cautious and be looking elsewhere. Here is the differences between the 5-year and the 2020. Anything below the pink line, here is the difference axis. Here is the percent uses axis for the 5-year in blue and 2020 in red. And we see quarterback is the only position that's really gone up. Wide receivers have stayed constant. Tight ends and running backs have declined. So I'm not about Dobbins. I don't know. Not worth more than you're paying for him. And the wide receivers we talked about there. Nothing thinks that we're going to see a great increase here with this team. I think it still goes through the quarterback. And I think, maybe the tight end goes up some. I guess if I expected an increase, it's at the tight end. So that puts this at about the same, puts this at the same, and this moves up a little bit. I could see the spread. This team is not going to be putting all its eggs in any one of the positional baskets, I don't think. Okay, Buffalo, AFC East. Buffalo positions 16 to 20. Here's our numbers over the years, and it is clear that the wide receivers are dominant, and Buffalo has really kicked that into gear. And the tops for running backs and tight ends we haven't seen in years. Okay, the tight end, not looking for anything at the tight end position here. Pretty weak. Running backs, I think we've seen kind of what they're going to produce. So I don't think I would jump on anything dramatic. I think Buffalo has found its quarterback, and we got lots of wide receivers here to play here. So I would look for some depth in the Buffalo wide receiver ranks. This is a team that I think will support some depth there, and we'll talk about the players here. So that's my reading of the data here. Avoiding probably the tight end. Shh. And let's move on. Here is the graphs, and I don't think Buffalo can do this again. Maybe they can. In other words, does that uptick equal that? That's amazing. Basically, you gave up on passing to everybody else and just threw it to your wide receivers all day, all night. I think running backs, we've hit this area plateau, tight ends plateau. Nothing, I expect nothing to change, and you would think this has to come back down to earth a little bit. Has to. Maybe it won't. Looks like it should. Okay. So that's what it looks to me. It really stands out for sure. Positional usage, 5-year, 2020. Look at 2020. 50% of the show was wide receivers. 5-year average was 40, so that's 10%. Running backs and tight ends declined, making way for that. So all the eggs were shoveled in the wide receiver basket. Josh Allen, 3rd round, 4th round pick, 311 seems reasonable. I'm not reaching for him, but 4th round, late maybe. Yeah, you can't turn that down. Moss and Singletary, I'm not sure we're going to get anything but what we got. Nothing dramatic there. Tight end, public's not even drafting one in the mix when I looked at the ADPs. Diggs, is Diggs going to carry the whole show? Okay, I think Beasley is underplayed at 10. I would pick up Beasley. Publix at round 10. He may be worth a round 9 pick, folks. Maybe 8. I think Davis or maybe Sanders is a stab in the dark in best balls. So those are my best ball plays late. Okay, so that's how I would play these players here, just like that. What else? I guess that's it. Did Buffalo get a running back? If they got one, it's not showing up. Of course, this data is going back from April to May, so the last month. So whatever, let's just say nothing's jumping out here, but just keep your eyes open. But that's how I would play Buffalo. It's going to be passing, passing, passing. And I think Beasley could be a nice little surprise play, but I think everybody's awake to him now. So maybe round 10 is a little cheap. Yeah, maybe it should be round 9. And I think that's worth a play right there. Okay. And this is just showing the uptick. And we see our triangles are showing the passing going. Running backs and tight ends are declined 4% or worse, 8%. So nothing that I'm thinking here. Certainly not at their price. Okay, I guess Zach Moss or whatnot, or maybe Knox or somebody lead, but not sure I'm hunting for them, even in best ball maybe. Okay. So I think that's my view of these two teams. Some differences in how they're going to come out for 2021. I think I did what I could here. There's a little bit of uncertainty with everything. But anyway, this is the process. My name is Dr. Bush. We are continuing our journey here. Come back for the next doublet of teams, and we will continue to knock this out here. You're ready. You're getting ready for your fantasy draft to crush your league and spank them hard. Okay, come back.